Coming to you live from the palatial studios of PBJ Productions. Welcome to Patrick and BJ Talk Real Estate, where we talk about life, the universe, and everything as it relates to real estate.
Welcome back to Patrick and BJ Talk Real Estate. I'm your co-host Patrick, and BJ is not here this time around, but this is a continuation of our inspiration series where we talk to people who have recently started a business or bought their first house to share with you the challenges that they've gone through so we can hope to educate, inspire, and empower new and future homeowners and entrepreneurs. Today, I'm at Luster of Pearl with the owner, Sofia Pastro. She's the master stylist. She's gonna share with us her startup story of her beauty salon. So I'm here with Sofia Pastro. She's a master stylist at her salon, the owner of Luster of Pearl Beauty Salon. She's going to share with us her journey of becoming a business owner and opening up her store that's located in Belmont Market in Langford, BC. Sophia,
hi.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It was great to bump into you and learn about, I knew you had your beauty salon open, but I didn't realize it was 2 years already.
Yeah, we just had our 2-year anniversary, which is really exciting this year, February of 2023. And it's an incredible place to be to, have 2 years under our belts.
And your beauty salon, you have sort of a one-stop shopping beauty salon, all sorts of different services.
Correct.
So let's just talk about that for just a second. What do you offer here?
So we offer hair, nails, lashes, both lash extensions, lift and tints, brow services, tinting, brow lamination, facials, waxing, there's a couple other little ones I'm probably forgetting, teeth whitening, but we're basically trying to be your all-inclusive one-stop shop. So we are catering towards busy professionals such as yourself that, want to have these multiple services done, and they can just come in, find one parking spot, book multiple appointments with the different staff members, have all their needs taken care of, and then be able to go afterwards and grocery shop and go home.
Right, you cut men's hair as well.
We do, yeah. So we're basically anybody can come in. We just have all inclusive. Yeah, we are just a one price haircut salon. So there's no price discrepancy between men and women. A haircut's a haircut. That's just the way it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it was amazing to bump into you just a little while ago and organize this. And I wanted, we were just catching up. And I thought it was amazing that you were sharing your journey of, now it's your 2-year anniversary, and what you had to go through to open up your own beauty salon.
Yeah.
So I want to get into that, but I want to know a little bit about yourself first. How did you get to this point? So
Great.
a little bit of background on you.
Sure, yeah. So I've been in the industry for 14 or 15 years since I graduated from hair school. So by trade, I'm a hairstylist. And I had been working as an independent for several years, which is basically means I was renting a chair at another person's salon, taking my own clients, doing my own payment processing and color ordering and all the kind of background stuff. But I was just like my own little business within a larger business. And I had been doing that for, I don't even know, probably at least 5 years. And I just really thought, I really wanted to take the leap and to do something for my own. One of my specialties, as you know, is hair extensions. And so because I have so many hair extension clients, I really wanted a really specific aesthetic with the curtains that we have for privacy, because of course not everyone that gets hair extensions wants people to know they have hair extensions.
Fair enough, yeah.
So I really wanted to build something that was really, exclusive to them, and that we could, close the curtains and have that privacy or open them up as well. So that's kind of how I built the model of the business, kind of around that speciality.
So you were doing that independently?
Correct.
And then taking that same concept and building it like on a bigger scale now.
Totally. I mean, I didn't have the privacy aspect where I was, but that's kind of what I wanted to build, was something that I could achieve that sense of privacy and exclusivity for people.
Yeah, and you had your, I want to call it your chair, but when I first met you, you were at a salon right downtown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about like building up your clientele has got to be one of those challenges in anybody's business. You're self-employed at that point. How is it to build clientele here in Victoria?
Good. I mean, I think that it takes perseverance and effort, just like anywhere else. And I was really fortunate that I had a lot of really great mentors that really encouraged me to go out. And, you know, I was going to networking events even as an independent person because I wanted to build that clientele and that exposure in the business community. And that's how we met, you know, years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that not a lot of people in my industry really do. So it was really important to me that I put that effort in and I do that so that I could build my clientele faster rather than just referring or just relying on referrals.
Fair. Yeah. So many people have said that Victoria is a who you know kind of town.
Absolutely.
It's still a small town. It's growing.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels like, what are we? We're nearing 400,000 people, but somehow it's still a very who do you know?
Absolutely.
Atmosphere here. If you're looking for a job, or you're looking for new clients.
Yeah,
so
that personal connection.
Personal networking
and that
has
personal
been a big
connection
deal.
is really huge. And that's why I really put effort into that, into connecting with people. So that's kind of how I got started. And so that was 12 years of me building up my clientele and building up my skills behind the chair as well as, you know, interpersonal. And then I took the jump and opened up my own business.
Okay, so you had the model, but there's got to be a big financial outlay. You're committing to multiple year leases for a space here. And you're not downtown. You're in Langford.
I am in Langford, yeah. And that was a specific point for me because I thought, you know, am I going to open up downtown Victoria and compete against established businesses that have been there for 20 plus years? And, you know, for people that know the city, there's as many hair salons as there are restaurants, and there's a lot of restaurants.
We're a highest per capita restaurant kind of place.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's so many hair salons. So I thought, you know, why would I go into a place in downtown Victoria where I'm literally competing against everyone else that's incredibly established, and then I have all the same challenges that everyone else does with limited clientele, limited parking, all the rest of it. And so I saw an opportunity to come out to Langford, and I was really specific. It's funny, I had like a criteria list of what I was looking for. So I wanted an outdoor mall. I didn't want to be in an indoor mall, but like an outdoor, you know, where we had our own entrance to the street.
I can park right in front here.
Right in front and come right in, but we still have the kind of the mall aspect where there's, you know, multiple businesses. I said, you know, in my vision, I wanted businesses that were commercial as well as locally owned, having a nice mix. I wanted a coffee shop. I was pretty specific that I wanted Starbucks because it's the brand recognition, right?
Yeah.
And then having a grocery store, and we have a Thrifties behind us.
So there's a lot of foot traffic here at Belmont Market.
There is, yeah.
So for not that we're promoting Langford,
well,
but
no,
it is a great place, and it doesn't exactly have that. We don't have to pay for parking out here.
Exactly, and that was a huge question that a lot of my clients asked me for downtown, of course, because they, you know, we were moving out here, and I was like, I'm so excited, we're going to come to this new space, and it was almost like every single client had asked me, like, do you have to pay for parking? Is there a limit on how long I can be parked there? And I was like, nope. You can just come and park out front and walk right in, and no one's gonna ticket you. And they were like, really?
I'm shocked that that's like a big. Like,
it was a big deal.
Because I think about parking every time I go downtown.
Yeah.
You know where am I gonna? I'm going for lunch with somebody tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, I know kind of the ones I need to go to.
Yeah.
Or I'm Or I'm
which
on a time limit.
parkades, yeah.
If it's free
Yeah,
somewhere else, right?
exactly. So that was a big consideration, and so I really wanted it to be as convenient for people to come. And then I thought, for my clients that are living outside of the Victoria core, if they're living in Royal Oak or Sydney, it's not really that much of a difference for them to come to Langford as it is to go downtown as far as distance wise. And then when they come here, they can park easily, and there's a Costco here. So it was like, hey, you're only going to come see me once every 6 weeks, like make it part of your Costco trip.
Right, it's super convenient. All the big shopping is out here anyways.
Exactly. And then as a city, Langford has been listed as like one of the top 10 fastest growing cities for the past 10 years. In Canada, it's like top 5 or something in BC. So it's like you have a large population of people coming here, not a ton of other salons. There are a couple that are established, of course, but it's not like I'm competing with 10 or 20 established businesses. I'm competing with, maybe 3 or 4.
So I'm going to sum this up this way. So choosing the right location for starting your business it sounds like it was essential to the way you wanted your future to look.
Exactly.
Sun Tzu, Art of War. I know I'm going to relate this to art business and
I
art
like
of
that
war.
book. Okay. So yeah, you got me.
So I'm not going to quote it directly, but he talks about going to compete in an area that so downtown would be the example. Be highly competitive, very costly, competing with other people, other businesses of the same type. Exactly. And you're likely to be losing business to other people more often. Where if you go outside where there's not as much competition, then it should be easier to establish and grow a business.
Exactly. I had a really great mentor that had said, do you want to be what did he say? Do you want to be like a shark in an ocean of sharks, or do you want to be like a shark in a pond? So he was like, always look for those opportunities if the places, like location is huge, where there's not that much going on in the sense of like your specific industry. Is there opportunity for growth? We're looking at a long-term, lease here. And I was really specific and intentional around that. I signed a 10-year lease, and some of my friends that are salon owners were like, what? What are you doing? It's a long time. And I'm like, it is and it isn't in the business community, right? Like 10 years, it sounds like a lot, but like it's really not. By the time you get established and you have a routine and you have word of mouth and a reputation, and so I thought I wanted that kind of commitment.
Timing must have been incredible because Belmont Market is all brand new.
Exactly.
And to be signed, like you moved in or you opened the doors about 2 years ago, right? So this would have all been brand new. The condo buildings are not finished, built, they're unfinished at that time still.
Well, those condo buildings, were unfinished, and there's new ones that they're continuing to build in the area. And Langford has always been about, housing and community growth. So it was very intentional, the location that I chose. And that, I think, location, whether it's in real estate or business, is very important, and so that was a high priority for me.
Okay, so let's rewind to a little bit more than 2 years ago, before you opened the doors. Looking back at it 2 years ago, what would have you done differently to open?
Ooh,
right?
Scary.
Right, because you would have learned whatever mistakes you might have made.
Of course.
To go back, and would you have changed anything?
I don't know that I would have changed anything, just because it gave me the experience, and making those, mistakes allowed me to course correct.
Okay, so what challenges that you're willing to share? How about that?
Yeah, no, totally.
What was tough about opening?
The biggest thing is because I had been working as an independent, I had never been a boss before. So being a owner, manager, boss is very challenging, and you have to learn how to communicate with your employees, and being able to recognize what each person needs, I think has been the most challenging. And then what's also effective, what's an effective form of feedback, what's an effective way to communicate what you need them to do.
And you're still working behind the chair.
Exactly.
At the same time.
Yeah. So being able to have that flow of communication, and not totally just like freak out because
Sure.
it's hard because you pour your sweat equity, your money, your time, your effort into something, and then you see somebody do something that like actively works against you, but they're
You're
not
talking about an employee.
yeah, but they're not doing it out of militia. You know what I mean? Like they're not being malicious about it. Like they're
learning how you want it done too.
totally right.
Yeah.
So it's just like you're just kind of figuring it out. And so you have to be like, okay, like, you know, a situation occurred, they reacted, that wasn't the way I wanted them to react, so how do I communicate like, hey, in the future, when something like this happens again, you know, I want you to react this way instead, rather than being like, oh my gosh, I didn't want that, you know, and to have emotion take over.
Oh, yeah, right, because you're so invested into it and it's your store.
Yeah.
And you care about like your customers and your
Everything.
reputation, everything.
And I think
Yeah.
that was the biggest piece of advice like that I have recognized over the past couple of years is just that, you know, my reputation is not going to live or die on one interaction.
Fair.
You know, it's if you're repeatedly making the same mistake and, you know, repeatedly being, you know.
I'm sure people do show grace, like if it was a mistake.
Well, yeah, of course.
They're
yeah.
not going to disparage you everywhere.
Exactly.
Right. Right, but I'm sure people don't want to have that experience again.
Oh, totally.
Like a bad experience.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's something that, you know, you just want to control everything as an owner. You know, you want to have everything be perfect all the time, and it's just not realistic because we're human and everyone makes mistakes, and it's just about recognizing what you can control in the situation, what you can't, having grace about things, and then just not letting it really get to you, because otherwise you're just never going to sleep, and then being sleep deprived doesn't help any situation.
Right, because you have to like control your emotions while you're here and
Yeah.
you're the boss.
Exactly.
Right.
You have
Yeah.
to set an example, and I think that's just been the most challenging thing, is recognizing that, and it's nice because I have seen myself improve. You know, at the beginning I would be very stressed out about certain things, and then I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's small potatoes. We can course correct as we go. We don't have to be totally perfect all the time.
I'm glad you said that, just because when I first started as a realtor, a friend of ours, a friend of the family, mortgage broker, came into my open house, and she reminded me to make sure I look back in a year, look back at myself and see how far I've come. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was really cool. I do that every year now. I always reflect. And you're saying like, oh, like from the beginning of like opening your salon,
Yeah.
and how you're course correcting on how you deal with things. Mm-hmm. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I just think it has to be more sustainable if you want to be in business and you want to do, you know, well long term, because if you just continue to take things personally, it's just not good, you know, emotionally, physically,
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
you just take it to heart too much, you're not going to do well.
I think that's a great bookend to end it on that note. So
Yeah.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
doing this.
Of course.
On our podcast, for joining us. Next time, I'm sure you'll meet BJ, and
That would be great. I'd
that'd
love
be
that.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Patrick. It was nice to meet everyone.